This is my unhinged theory that aluminum is the Cosmere god of the Beyond's god metal. This is spoiler free for everything. Aluminum doesn't really fit with the rest of the metallic arts. The cool thing about aluminum is it essentially blocks and eliminates all forms of investiture. For example, it's what Nightblood's sheath is made out of, and it blocks shard blades. Most interesting to me is that Brandon has raffled this as Adonalsium's god metal. So let's look at what the metallic arts tables in the back of the Mistborn books have to say. With allomancy, we know that it depletes your metal reserves. For feruchemy, it stores someone's identity, which is not only intriguing because we haven't seen that yet, but I'd like to point out that the word identity doesn't show up anywhere else on the metallic arts table. And for hemalurgy, it removes all powers. So essentially, it's a lot like an anti-Lyra serum, which was preservation's god metal. But we've also seen the metallic arts tables change as we've gotten further into the books. So I think that aluminum is a god metal, but instead of belonging to Adonalsium, it belongs to a figure we know as God Beyond. Who is God Beyond? That is a great question because we know nothing. God Beyond is worshipped on multiple planets in the Cosmere. We know on Cell it could have something to do with falling rocks, and then other places it symbolizes a silver dagger. It's referenced a few times in Wax and Wane, most notably to me by Leslie, and that's because we know that she's Cosmere aware. And like every question that has to do with the Beyond, Brandon gives us an instant raffo. There are multiple reasons why, to me, this theory makes sense thematically. For example, this is the only god metal where it makes sense for it to be literally everywhere. And aluminum's ability to block investiture makes sense when you look at it from the view of the Beyond being the end of a certain journey. And we've seen that there are things about metals and god metals that the existing shards don't have the answers to. So in conclusion, the symbolism here could actually get really, really cool, especially if consuming god metals makes it into religious practices. It would also explain how aluminum doesn't really fit in with the rest of the metals and how it's so powerful at blocking investiture. If God Beyond exists, they're going to have a god metal, and it makes the most sense for it to be something that is already existing everywhere in the Cosmere.